Alright, you guys, so one of the turtles you guys are going to see is taking a nap, which is totally fine. Totally normal. Turtles take naps all during the day. We also have a swimming turtle I will also talk about in a little as well. I'm always told a very young turtle, she actually came in with an SC or fibropapillomatosis. That's the virus that has tumors on her body. She has since had all of those removed through multiple surgery, and she looks really good. We're just monitoring to make sure, we're monitoring to make sure that none of those tumors regrow, okay? So it's important to make sure, okay, that resembles seagrass. That's kind of what they would be eating a lot of in the wild. And then also a little bit of mixed seafood in there too, okay? Now you guys might see the PVC pipes, okay? Can you guys kind of guess what those are? Basically enrichment for them to swim around, little obstacles. We can't really put toys in here. You guys know why? So, this is the best view, as you guys can see. It makes sense why this building behind you guys was the honeymoon suite of the motel. It's now where out-of-town veterinarian stays, so it's next week is that week. Two propeller marks right there on the top of the shell. If you look closely, it looks like Trip's eyes kind of stick out a lot. That's actually the tumors that are sticking out on the top of the eye. Okay. This one came in on the 24th of 5 years of life. They're very, very young. Their immune system isn't the greatest. But we also know green sea turtles, and you guys are more than welcome to keep coming in and looking. Green sea turtles naturally eat a lot of seagrass. Okay, and seagrass filters pollution out of the water, but that could be actually turtle named Titanic. And Titanic is actually looking really good. He is one of our bigger turtles. He's got a bigger tank. But we also notice, you'll notice that he's swimming around a bunch, and it's got a lot of energy, so that's a great sign. It's possible he might be the next one to get moved into the bigger tanks and hopefully get released very soon. Yes.
If you talk a little bit about the range of the turtles you see here, there's any turtles in Hawaii, the range.
Yeah, so many species of turtles can be found nesting in different areas of the world. In subtropical regions, they don't venture too far off, and like the catch woodlies, they'll get stuck in the cold waters if we get a cold time, cold period. The leatherbacks, their thermoregulation is much different. They actually have blubber in their head that allows them to keep it warm and not lose that heat. And they can go up to they can migrate all over the world in different oceans except for the Arctic. Yeah, absolutely. Flipper does not mean they can't go back into the wild. Especially when we get FP patients, they got tumors and they're missing a flipper, okay, they can still be released. They need 3 out of 4 working flippers, 1 out of 2 working eyes as well. So if they get eye tumors, yep, that's from the roach. So the shell, yeah, it's like, if we were hit by a boat, right, or, okay, I don't want to say that, but if your arm got, it would break in half. Their shell is so strong, it won't necessarily break. I mean, in some cases it does, it splits. So what we're seeing is once we treat them for the virus, they don't come back. We tag every one of our turtles, and we haven't ever seen one come back to us. So it's hard to say if they receive full immunity for the rest of their life, but it also, it could give some immunity. We don't know how long it lasts, but it also could just be getting them through that vulnerable state of being young and their immune system not being fully developed in the first place. But we typically do not see any of the really big turtles come in with the FP. In general. We did have one you're going to see here that previously had an FP on the eye tissue, and she was one that she was a little bit bigger, and so she had survived for a long time living with it. But she, unfortunately, her name is April. She's actually one of our adoptable turtles as well. She's one of the Fab Five. I'm sure you guys will see Medea. They are separate from each other because if you imagine all a bunch of sea turtles together, what do you think that might attract? A bunch of what? Predators, exactly. So that's why they're on their own from the very get-go. So you'll notice on the back fence here are the white signs. This tells you which turtles are the Fab Five that are adoptable. Okay, I haven't seen April yet, the one that is visually impaired. Oh yeah, there she is. She's right in front, right here in front, a little bit to the left of the ladder. Okay, that's April. So you kind of see how slow she swims. Obviously, she wouldn't survive in the wild. However, she's a happy home here at the hospital. She was rescued on April Fool's Day, so that's how she gets her name. But that's April. There's one that looks very similar. The shell looks the same, but it's actually missing 1.5 flippers and one eye, and that's going to be Montel. He's our super survivor. So I haven't seen Montel. That's going to be the one described in the second poster. I'll keep an eye out. And then we have Medea Bender, who we met earlier in the first tank. And then Handsome Bowie is a giant one. If you guys see like an enormous giant sea turtle, that's going to be Handsome Bowie. She was, or is, 360 pounds. Okay? That was Medea. Yeah, in the first tank, yeah, that was Medea. But she's also pretty large as well. Okay? I'm going to come around so you guys can feed them. Okay? Fish allergy, I probably would just watch. I wouldn't touch the food. So, anyone have shellfish allergy? Okay. Alright, I'm going to come around and give you guys a scoop if you like. Check out the nostrils. When they eat, they actually squirt out water through the nose. Okay, this one over here is named Sam. There's April. Okay, we'll talk about, let's see, who else is coming up. Okay, we have Chance. He has a big gray butt. That's how I tell him apart. He's a nice square weight. As you guys can see, he's an expert swimmer just by his little butt. Okay. We also have one named Toby. Okay, Toby's this one right here is a beautiful shell. He's a troublemaker, he's a fighter. So I'll make sure he's not biting anybody. Alright, then we have Crook over here right in the corner. Alright, we got Buddy, who's making a scene. And I haven't seen Handsome Bowie yet. She's the biggest one here. I want her to show off a little bit for you guys. Alright, and technically these are the turtles that could be adopted by other facilities. If there's other zoos and aquariums that would like an educational sea turtle. We've had some go out all the way to California. Back plushie, like a little stuffed animal. And then you'll also get a leather back magnet that's really cool. And that way you'll get the updates on the turtles as well. But that was just called the rehab patient. So it's kind of like a general adoption. And you'll get signed up for updates throughout the year. And then there's one other adoption I'll show you. Does anyone have any questions right now? Yeah, so April still comes around, gets her pellets. She can use hone in on some of her other senses a little bit more to find those pellets.
Oh, 2 turtles. Which one's a troublemaker?
Try that one.
Yeah, she can come right up. She, in general, probably doesn't eat as much just because she's not swimming as hard. You know, she's pretty, like, mellow when it comes to swimming. She's not going to spend her energy as much as some of the other turtles, but yeah, she gets around just fine. That was Medea. Yeah, that was taking a nap at the front.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I just dropped
April
my food
has
and
a
they
visual
ignored me.
impairment. Yep. No, actually, we don't put the fish in here. They just swim in from the bay through the pipes when they were little. Realized they got free food, so they stayed. Yep, so there's tons of fish and crabs in here. It makes a more enriching environment for the turtles, so that we don't really have a reason to take them out. Yeah. No, they can eat lots of seafood, but they're not as fast as some of the others, so they won't be able to catch the
I
fish.
put my food in and they just ignore it.
So I'm gonna have you guys keep moving. So once you're done
I got some of my food.
with the feeding, I'll have you come over and we're gonna see just a few more of those turtles. You have baby Sarah. Has a large tumor growth on both the eyes. She's one of our smallest turtles, so we have them in this tank. She was found at Hawks Cay. She's definitely gonna have surgery. Then tumor patients are doing a lot of resting. She's not gonna be in a big tank, but she's not swimming around very much. She has had two things go on: FP and predator attack. Okay, not sure which one came first, but that's going to be a pretty big deal. You know, that's going to leave her here at the hospital probably for a lot longer than some of the other patients.
Oh, poor
And
thing.
then the Emporio, who is a little transfer, it doesn't have too many tumors, thankfully, but was just found floating in lethargic. This is paper says Brevard transfer, so this was transferred from Brevard County. And the last thing is just some of our seagrass that we're feeding some of our picky eaters. In the rest of the program, the FP patients, you will see Dancer. Okay, Dancer and Prancer came in at the same time. I think you guys can see guess what holiday they came in here. See the neck, you can see those are removed. And if you look at the picture, she has eye tumors on both sides.
Look at this one.
Actually got to be removed already. The Dancer has to stay because she had to have extra surgery on the eye tissue. That takes a bit longer to heal. We also do chemotherapy eye drops to make sure those tumors don't regrow. Jeannie is one of our tiniest turtles that had a predator attack and was just found floating. She's very lethargic. Hallelujah has actually been rescued on Easter Sunday. That's how she got her name. If you look at her, you'll know why she's named that. It's really amazing that she was found and is still in okay condition because she has a ton of tumors. She was actually found in Naples. Okay. Rosalie Mary's one of our newest patients.
Big one.
She has. She was just found the third, so she's pretty new. All right. She's a lower
This is
water
that special
levels.
one.
We call that
That looks like
turtle bed
nickel.
rest. Okay, so
That looks
the
like
lower the
nickel.
water, the more rest they need.
Does that not look like nickel?
The less we want them swimming all around.
same time.
There is a tank
That's the one with the big
cover
neck
over,
thing.
so we just ask that you kind of go by that one. We just don't want to stress any of the turtles out. They're already a little bit stressed. Helps keep them relaxed if we don't bother them as much. And lastly, Allie, and then Sid. Sid is looking awesome. If you've seen Sid the sloth from Ice Age, he's got the two funny eyes out in front or out on the side. This one was named Sid because he had two sets of eye tumors on both eyes. So he reminded you of Sid the sloth. If you look at him now, tumors are totally gone. It looks incredible. I'd say this one is probably going to be one that will be released very soon as well. Alright. Yeah, so Medea is the one that's napping over here. It's one of our favorite places because the water's coming in. Sometimes she wedges herself right on the ladder. And that gives her a little shell massage, actually. Yeah, she's taking a little nap.
Oh.
So as you guys are finishing up, you also line up on this last fence once again. We're going to have the other group come in. So we'll finish finish momentarily. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this program. A few ways you guys can help if you're interested in the adoption. Definitely let me know if you have questions. Our standard adoption for the outcry is $35, and then our the rehab patient is for $100, comes with more items, and then our cater and shot adoption actually comes with more items too, comes with questions about animals as well. So if you're interested in that or want to see those items, let me know and get shot. So if you guys see me going out this section here, just line up on the black fence. Of course,
Gonna
other
ask her
ways
about Nicole.
you guys can help are reusing
Want me to?
those models throughout your